All right, good evening and welcome to my channel. Back this week for this week's version of the eye test. Please like and subscribe to help me grow my channel, so give me more incentives to put out more content and everything like that. But let's get into it. We finally got a win after the last 2 weeks where we were doing everything we could to lose these football games. I say we like I'm playing for the 49ers, so I feel like I am sometimes. We finally, had an opponent that we should beat, could beat, and did beat. So before I start being critical, I just want to say, hey, a win is a win is a win. It doesn't matter how you win. At least we got the W because of the last 2 weeks we weren't getting it done. But I've been noticing some things, and I'm probably gonna say something that might be considered controversial. I don't know. I uh, I haven't heard anybody else mention it. Mention a few things, so I'm just gonna tell you my observations. Uh, the first things first that I've started to know, that I've started to notice. I think that Jordan Mason has a fumbling problem. If I remember right, last year I think he fumbled the ball. He fumbled twice in this game. I know everybody's kind of overlooking it, and I believe he fumbled in. I'm not sure week 1 or week 2 with the Vikings. I don't know. He doesn't do it a lot, but I think against better teams it's going to be a problem, and I've just noticed it. I've just noticed that he's not exactly, uh, secure with the ball, and people that fumble tend to fumble. So that's all I'm going to say. I noticed twice he wasn't looking, he wasn't paying attention. And I played running back, so I see these little things. I think he's too busy looking at the backers, looking at his hole, trying to. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's not concentrating. And I just hope to God that it doesn't bite us in the butt. So that's something to look at going forward. And it's mainly just getting the handoffs. It's not necessarily. I don't know if it's when he's running, but I've definitely noticed he's got some kind of issue, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know why. Maybe that's why he wasn't getting the ball as much before the past few seasons. Um, so it's a concern for me. I know everybody. I haven't heard anybody else. I listen to a ton of podcasts, and I haven't heard anybody else bring it up. But it's definitely something that I'm concerned about. Another thing that I'm concerned about is play calling. I've been watching um, Kyle for a few years now, and it's the same thing that always happens. I don't know if everybody realizes it. Getting Christian McCaffrey helped, but we have a problem in the red zone, and I don't care what anybody says. We have always had a problem in the red zone. I don't know why Kyle, he's good in the middle of the field, man, but for some reason, when we get in the red zone, he does not know what to do, which I think he just needs to run more. I don't know why he can't call the right kind of runs around the goal line. And getting Christian helped out a lot. He made him look a lot better last year than what he actually is. But we're good from like 20, 30 yards out. But anytime we get within 10 to 15 yards, he always stalls out. I don't know why. With all the weapons that we have, with an incredible quarterback, for some reason, this dude does not call a good red zone offense. I just don't get it. I wish I knew more about the offense so I could identify what it is. But it's not just this year. It's a lot of years. It's what happened in the Super Bowl. Kyle gets into the last two Super Bowls that we've been in, and even the Super Bowl in Atlanta. He gets into some kind of funk. I don't know what they start doing defensively, and he gets very. The offense loses rhythm. Um, it seems kind of just disjointed for some reason. There's no like flow to it, and he gets very. I don't know. I feel like he's in his head. It's weird. Last year I couldn't figure out in the third quarter when we were killing them. We had no issues, and he just wouldn't run the ball. And to me, when I'm playing Madden and I always bring up Madden. When my passes aren't working, when they're knocking down my passes, when I almost throw an interception, I'm like, I just need to run the ball. I need to run the ball. to at least get some yards and stop giving them back the ball. And I really feel, especially with the running back that we have and the holes that he makes, man, I really feel like should. I know he leans a lot on the running game, but the two games we lost, he didn't really lean on the running game. The Vikings, he should have ran it more. They weren't stopping him, so I don't know why. It's an old school thing. You run to pass. You run and make them, you know, come up. And some teams are like, dude, they're like dropping like eight in coverage, man. Run the fuck over them if they're gonna do that. You know what I mean? It's like, and when they're loading the box, which is leading me to the next thing, then you can pass it, but you don't just start off. I don't know. He gets into these kind of like, I don't want to say pass happy because it doesn't seem pass happy. He calls the weirdest plays at the wrong, reverses and screens around the goal line, and to me, that's just dumb. That stuff you do in the middle of the field, or you do these screens when you can't move the ball, when you're having problems getting up the field, but they don't have these issues. They don't have these problems. That it's not a thing. They get huge chunk plays. I mean, like Brock leads the NFL in like yards per attempt. I mean, it's like crazy. So I'm really worried. I've always been worried, and I feel like McCaffrey not being out there has definitely uh, made a problem that I think has always been a problem even more glaring. Um, it's hard to evaluate the defense for this last game. This last game, I've been really kind of like, you know, I don't know what what to think about this performance because the Patriots are not good. They're not bad. I watched them because I was waiting for the Niners to play the first week of the season, and I watched them play the Bengals, and they look solid. They're boring but solid. They seemed in ways fundamentally sound. Um, so when I was watching this game, I was like, okay, you know, is it our talent or is it them just being bad? Kind of in between. We finally got a pass rush, and that's what I was saying a few videos ago. This defense only works if you get a pass rush. If we get a pass rush, like we got last week with New England, then the defense looks a whole lot better. But you have to get that pass rush, and they need to. Some of them dudes they have been playing. Sammy Okenu, or they call him Sammy O. That dude needs to be playing. He needs to be playing, and I think Evan Anderson needs to be playing, and I can't remember the other one. It's like I feel like these starters they put. I don't know why. The defensive line just hasn't been getting pressure, and they put in some of these younger, newer, less experienced guys. I guess I'm not sure what their experience levels are, like the years, whatever. But they're obviously better at rushing the passer. They were getting so much pressure. I mean, and it's not even just so much more pressure. They just do a better job of uh, looking like they're getting pressure on the quarterback. And so I definitely think they need the guys they had in this last game because it really helped out Malik Collins and Nick Bosa having these guys, so they're the ones in there doing what they were doing. Yeah, Fred Warner's a beast. I don't even think I need to say that. I mean, if we can, I like that they got Bethune in there. I've been waiting for him ever since I heard Larry Kruger talking about Bethune. Like, to help out with, we're having issues at linebacker, in pass coverage. I mean, we're going to have issues in pass coverage, man. At least get a better tackling linebacker out there next to um, uh, Fred. And from what I've heard, because I haven't watched the practices, he's always around the ball. And to me, as a linebacker, that's the best kind of player that you could have. If he's always around the ball, he led the team in tackles in led the NFL, I believe, in tackles. So that dude needs to be out on the field. Get him out on the field next to Warner. Get him some live playing time. And maybe he can help stopping the run. Um, and my last thing, I'm looking at my notes right here. Last thing I kind of wanted to talk about. So when I was back to evaluating the offense, I it was weird watching them do some things. For one, Brock is. I've long thought that this would be, I don't want to say his breakout year, but you can see that Brock is smart, man. He's very, very, very smart. You can tell that kid. I've never seen anybody process, you know, the his reads like that. I've been watching all kinds of quarterbacks in this offense for years, and I've never seen anybody go through his reads as good correctly. Like, I mean, he's so good at it as Brock. And I feel like before, when he was playing his first season, and even some last year, he was playing to not make mistakes, which is smart. And I feel from what I'm seeing from this year, I think he's becoming a lot more comfortable within his self because he's so cerebral. I feel like he's like, I got this. I've seen this before. Okay. And he's being far more aggressive. Uh, and they're pushing the ball down the field in a way that I haven't seen the Niners offense really get pushed down the field. I hate that he threw that pass. I feel like he was forcing a lot of passes to IU, trying to get this dude going. I don't know, man. I felt really uncomfortable with because he's either not catching them or he's not open. And I guess against a bad team, it's okay. But we've got too many weapons for him to be trying to get IU going. It's kind of one of those things I just think that needs to kind of happen organically. If he's open, fine. But if he's not open, we don't need to be just giving him 50-50 balls and all this other stuff. My personal feeling, I get why they're doing it. But Brock is, I think he is evolving. His numbers are better than Mahomes. He's got better numbers than a lot of these guys. I hate that people don't give him credit. This dude is good. He's accurate. He's smart. He does not turn the ball over, and he's a gunslinger. I remember learning last year when they talked about the reason why he never wears 13 because Dan Marino was his favorite quarterback. Like, which I love Dan Marino. He's my number two behind Montana because Montana's got all the rings, but Marino, probably the best passer I ever seen. And I feel like Brock has that in him. That's the kind of he wants to throw downfield. And if you look at his numbers, his stats, and his style, he is an aggressive downfield passer. And I feel, especially with McCaffrey out, that that's kind of where we're leaning in a way. I don't know because it's hard trying to evaluate it against this team, but they're loading the box on these runs, and then when they are in the passing situations, they know that Kyle wants to throw it to the middle of the field, so they're starting to throw these teams out of these zones and these boxes. They're like, if y'all gonna pack the middle and do all this sort of stuff, we're going vertical. Okay, which is Brock's game. I don't really think we have the receivers to do it right. I don't know, maybe when Ricky Pearsall gets back, maybe. I mean, we could get deep, Kyle can kind of get people open, but to truly challenge, like the Rams used to do, I can't even imagine trying to cover all those guys. Oz Hakeem and Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce. Those like three nightmares. They're speed demons, okay? And those are the kind of guys you want to have be like to do some vertical stuff. That's why they were always open and blowing people out. And I've always I look I like Ayuk. I like Debo. Like I like them. I don't think they're bums, but they're not. I don't think they're tier one wideouts. None of them have elite speed. You know, they all will work good in concert. If we could get Ayuk, Debo, I say Ayuk first. I really mean Jennings. If we can get Debo, Jennings, Ayuk and Pearsall out together on the field at the same time, uh, we could put some real stress on the defenses. And I mean, you got Kittle, man. And God, man, if we ever get McCaffrey back with all these receivers, all these dudes, well, except for Ayuk hasn't been, but they can all catch. And Brock's good. Okay, so I think we're gonna have four solid, good route running wide receivers and a pretty damn good tight end. Uh, and as long as our run game, and Kyle leans into the run and keeps running with Mason to keep these dudes honest, and if we get McCaffrey back, this offense is going to be an absolute nightmare. It was already an absolute nightmare last year, but there's absolutely no way with McCaffrey and Mason and all those wide receivers that they're covering everybody. It's impossible. I don't care what you say. There's too many damn weapons. Too many weapons. It is it's just going to be a thing, okay? But without McCaffrey, there's a lot that defenses don't have to worry about. You can see his effect when I try to explain to people, like, yeah, our offense is still good. Brock is second in yards. We're still scoring points. We can still move the ball down the field, but they have to worry about, uh, you know, McCaffrey when he's on the field. And Brock is going to be a problem once he really, I mean, I think he's getting it, but once he gets to where they say with like Breeze and Brady and Manning to where they've seen all the coverages, man, he's already good at doing that stuff. So once these defenses that McDonald, the Ravens defensive coordinator who's in Seattle, the Chiefs, and the Vikings. Once they figure that out, which Kyle needs to get on that and figure out how to attack those defenses because he has not done it yet. Once they figure out that defensive strategy, I don't see anybody being able to stop Brock because he's good at doing everything else. He's good at all. He'd just be out there chilling. Okay, that kind of defense where I don't say it's like a lot of blitzes. They do a lot of mixing the coverages and bringing pressure and stuff like that. It's not like it's a very kind of I don't want to say complex schemes. Everybody knows what Kyle wants to run. They've been knowing what he wants to run, and they know what they do well. So it's not necessarily on Brock to fix these things. This is a coaching thing that Kyle needs to evolve. He has not done it since that Super Bowl with Atlanta when he couldn't do anything in the second half. They figured out what the heck he was doing, and in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, they figured out what he was doing. In the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, they knew what he was doing. Same thing with Baltimore last year. You can see it. It's the same defense. It's the same issues. They latch onto his game plan and they stifle what he's trying to do. And he is like stubborn or something. Either he's stubborn or he doesn't know how to adjust to what they do. They have to have some kind of backup game plan for this. They have to have a better way to attack those defenses when they do this stuff. Not some stupid trick play, not some reverse to Debo or some screen pass to Jennings where he's throwing it downfield. Yeah, it looks cute, it's good, but this is like stuff like that. Those good defenses, they're gonna blow it up, man. They're gonna blow those plays up, and we're gonna be looking at third and long and everything like that. We have to get a legit response to these damn defenses that has been causing him problems. I don't know in the offseason he doesn't sit there and focus on that crap. I feel like he just thinks his offense is, I don't want to say invincible, but it is the reason why he has not succeeded. Every time he plays those specific coaches and those teams, they got a hold on him and what he is doing. And if I were him, I'd have a team, a special team of ninjas or whatever, just working on attacking those game plans. How do we do that with the personnel that we have? And if we do that, I think we'll be fine. This week, I don't know. It's another week of it's hard to evaluate this game. I knew the Vikings were good. You could tell the Vikings were good. Um, the Rams shouldn't have beat us. We gave that game away. The Patriots, I don't think we played good. We played good, but we didn't play good. It felt too hard of a game for the kind of quality of team that we were playing. You know what I mean? The special teams again did everything they could to lose the game, so that hasn't been fixed yet. We still don't have a returner. I don't know. Uh, so this week with Arizona, Kyler Murray always causes us problems. Their defense is trash, but their offense is supposed to be pretty good. They got Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray. So yeah, I'm a little bit interested. I don't know what are we gonna do defensively. Now we're really gonna see. It's a little bit different than like the Patriots didn't have the personnel to challenge our defense, but the Cardinals do. And offensively, man, I think he's gonna keep tweaking. They're gonna keep trying to warm up for these harder teams. So I really want to see what Kyle does this week with Brock in this passing game. Are they going to keep trying to go deep and push all these verticals and keep these dudes, throw them out of these boxes, whether it's the run 8 man in the box or all these the kind of condensed middle of the field coverages that they're doing. We'll see. But I don't know if you guys have any comments. If you agree, let me know. Let me know how I'm doing. If there's anything you want me to talk about, I might do a video in the middle of the week talk about the other teams. I got some thoughts on a lot of these other teams like Washington, the Dolphins, the Cowboys, and stuff like that. So just let me know, and I'll see you. See you around.